Hey, Dean, Sear Performance, back down and still working on the Silver C5. Um, so last time I got the charge pipe in. It's the one that I made. So, and then it comes out over here in the front. And then what I ended up doing was welding this section in, and then there's a coupler under there. Um, just because you can't get this charge pipe out without having to cut it off from the one I made down in there. So I would rather keep as least amount of coupling connections as possible. Um, but I got the ECU mounted. Basically, the factory hole is like right there. You can kind of see it there, right there. And I just moved it up. You can see the button head up there. I moved it up like 2 inches or so, and that allowed me to put everything back together. Tack module back on the front of it. So I am going to work on getting the fender bolted back in, because I am all done under here. So I will get the fender all bolted back in. I got to get that bolt way up over there, and then a couple of bolts out here. Then I'm going to work on getting that piece back on here. It should go right back on, other than maybe the bottom. I might have to trim the bottom off of it. Not sure yet, because the pipe doesn't hang below until it gets like to the subframe. And it looks like a lot, but it's actually not a lot. And again, it's in line with the tires more or less, so when the car goes up and comes down, you know, hopefully we won't have an issue. Otherwise we'll have to revisit it. But I'm gonna take and push this up a little bit more, and then put a bracket behind it, kind of like I did here, to keep it really tight to the subframe. And then that pipe turns and goes up and ends right about there, which I got to finish that. And then in the back, what I'll end up doing, probably going to get rid of this coupling here. I already got one down in there that's not too hard to get to, so I'll probably end up getting rid of this one and just welding the pipe on. Trying to find a way to roll this tube, but worst case scenario, I'll have to, you know, cut some sections up. But that's what I got for now. I'm gonna get back to work on putting the fender back on, or just finish bolting the fender back on, and getting this panel in and making that bracket real quick. And then I'll move on to most likely the back side over to the turbo, and then the exhaust pipe. But before I forget, I do have to feed the wires through here. It shouldn't be too difficult, but I have to feed the wires through here for the boost controller and the scavenging pump. So it should just be 2 wires: a power wire to the scavenging pump, and the pulse wire to the boost controller. And I'm gonna tie the boost controller power into the scavenging pump power, so that way I won't have to run a whole bunch of wires, and I could just find one fuse. That's weird they took that. Look, yeah, so I'm gonna get to work on that stuff, but that's the update for now. And then I got all those pie cuts. I think I set them up in the trunk for the downpipe. I'm gonna try and get all of the piping finished up today, and that's all the major stuff. Then there's just the little things, wiring up the boost controller and finding the spot to place the boost controller, blah 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 blah. And then we'll move on. Hopefully Saturday, possibly. We'll get some fresh oil, filter, do an oil change on it, and start taking it out. So I will be back with an update at the end of the day. Okay. Wait a minute. Yep. So back on the C5, what I got done today. I wanted to get all the charge pipe done and the exhaust, but I ended up spending a little more time on the charge pipe, which came out good. Put the bracket here with the bolt holes, got it all run, and then it runs up there. Then there's a coupler there, so a coupler, and then it comes up to 3-inch. So that's a 2.5 by 3 coupler, comes up 3-inch. And then if you've ever bought one of these intercooler kits, the 90s are never 90 and the 45s are never 45. They don't overbend them to allow the spring back on them. So I didn't want to just turn the coupler on an angle. As easy as that would have been, I tried to keep it like kind of as level as I could, so the charge pipe comes up level, plumb, and it comes across horizontal level. So I added that piece with a couple of angles on both sides, and then the piece going in the boot also has a little bit of an angle on the end of it right there. So that makes it, you know, a little bit nicer and whatever. Blow off valve is on. I shortened the line to it. So all of that is pretty much done. The only thing I got to do is do the threaded bung for the IAT sensor, intake temp sensor, and then do the nozzle for the methanol kit. So I might do the nozzle here. That kind of keeps the line away from the pulleys, the belt, all that good stuff. And then do the IAT sensor, maybe bring it over the intake and do it, you know, on this side here, something like that, pointing in the back, something. Bring it under the intake, I don't know yet. So all that's good. I just got to do those two little things, and the front side of the charge pipe is all done. I didn't get a chance to do that because, so this is where the exhaust was left off. Yeah, it was left off here till I kind of sort of decided what I wanted to do with it. And at first I brought it over, made all the pie cuts, and then just kind of had the single, I think it was to, yeah, it was to right here, and kind of sat back and looked at it, and it looked good, and you know, it shows off everything, but it could always look better. So I added, and I didn't cut the pipe yet, because I wasn't sure if I'd like the look of this, and I'm still not quite sure that I like this kind of log tee off. I mean, it's 4-inch all the way out, so it's not gonna harm or hurt anything, but I'd rather it be a little more of a sweep into it. So maybe this piece here, I don't know yet, but I got them in, and they're I gotta maybe, yeah, I gotta tie this one up a little bit. I mean, I gotta do a hanger on it regardless, but and the tape is not exact. You can kind of see the line tapers a little bit, but you know, this is kind of doing it as a dual. They're even, they kind of just a hair point inward. So that's what I spent a lot of time on, especially getting this like coped to fit on the pipe good. So yeah, I mean, it's coming along. Tomorrow I'll probably finish up welding that and seeing if I want to change that. don't know that I have another good way of doing it. There's just not a whole lot of room in there. So, but, and then I will start. Oh, and I did run the wires for the scavenging pump and the boost controller. So those are ran through. I got some P-clamps, and I'll P-clamp them up to the frame or something in there to keep them from getting caught up, whatever. And then I'll start working on this charge pipe. And once this charge pipe is in and all the little things are done, I mean, it's ready. So the only other thing, I'll have to test the switch for the pump, make sure that that is activating, and then just decide on if I'm going to do anything with the wastegate. Actually the owner and Chris with the Capri just stopped by and mentioned it. I'm not really sure. I might bring it over and then just kind of do a little dump tube down, or maybe just come right off and do a little dump tube down, something. I don't know yet, but I mean, that's pretty much, shut the light off, that's pretty much where the vet is at for right now. Just a little bit more and I'll keep plugging away on it. But that's it for now. I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos. And we reached, it's not huge, but it's huge to me, a little over 200 subscribers. I think it was at like 202 this morning when I looked, which is friggin' awesome for me. Like, you know, because I didn't think I'd be doing a lot of these videos, but I've been doing as many as I can. People seem to like them, so we're gonna keep on doing them. But I'm getting out of here for today. So like I said, I appreciate you watching, really appreciate you subscribing. 200 subscribers is awesome. We want to try and get it up to 500 and then 1,000 and go from there and see what we can do with this. But like, subscribe, leave a comment. Appreciate you. Have a good day.